Hello friends, today we are going to discuss about the opioids. Opioids are also called as narcotic analgesics. So opioid or narcotic analgesics are nothing but those agent which which relieve from the pain, or generally they are used in the different central nervous system disorder. So see in detail how they are acting, or what is the pharmacology behind narcotic analgesic drug. So opioid compounds are morphine like, having morphine like activity. Opiate opiate substances are extracted from the opium. Opium study we are discussing in first year pharmacognosy. From the latex of opium poppy, the opium, pure opium we are getting, and after a suitable extracting procedure or also a suitable method, the pure opium get crystallized or available in the powder form. So the minute quantity of opium is converted into the suitable dosage form as a drug. The opium exudate of unripe seeds of capsule of the Papaver somniferum. So this is the biological source of opium, opium poppy, that is Papaver somniferum. Then opium generally contain the two different types of alkaloids. Phenanthrene derivative are available from opium, that is morphine. 10% of 10% in the opium. Opium is available in opium, morphine is available up to 10%, and codeine is present up to 5%. Also, thebaine is available 0.2%, that is act as a non-analgesic. Benzoquinoline derivatives are papaverine 1% and noscapine 6%. So these are also non-analgesic agent. Non-analgesic agent, that is the agent which cannot used in the pain relieving activity, or they are not quite effective. So they are not using in larger extent. Generally, the morphine and morphine codeine like substances are used. The well-known example, that is codeine cough syrup. So in codeine cough syrup nowadays there is a ban on consumption of the codeine cough syrup because the alcohol percent in codeine cough syrup is more, and due to that some people using as a addiction. So government ban on that product. Opioids, the modern definition of opioid, that is molecule that interact with the opioid receptor. So that is the another definition. They are opioid drug are affecting or reacting with the opioid receptor and reduces their activity, and so that the pain sensation get reduces. Opioid compound or opioid receptor agonist, antagonist, agonist and antagonist. Natural product, synthetic and semi-synthetic compound are available in the opioid compound. The peptide synthesized by the neuron and other cell. So this is the general discussion. That is not important according to our syllabus, but generally what is including in the opioid they are saying. Then very much important, the classification of opioids. Classification of opioids or narcotic analgesics. So it can be asked in your annual examination in pharmacology, also in the pharmaceutical chemistry second. So see the classification of opioids. First class, natural opium alkaloids. So natural opium alkaloid is the well-known example, that is morphine and codeine. Then semi-synthetic opiates, in that heroin, are also called as di- diacetyl diacetyl morphine and full codeine. So these are the different two example of semi-synthetic opiates. Then synthetic opioids, the example of synthetic opioids, that is pethidine, are also called as the meperidine. Then fentanyl, alfentanil, sufentanil, then ramifentanil, methadone, dextropropoxifen, and tramadol. So this is the classification. As it is, you have to memorize the classification. Number of class are available in the pharmacology and toxicology. So you have to, as it is, memorize. There is no any explanation about the classification. Then the complex action opioids after opioid antagonist. The complex action, that is any action that is desired or undesired when opioid drug are combined with the opioid antagonist. So what are opioid antagonists? Opioid antagonists are nothing but such agent which reduces the activity of opioids. Okay, and opposite to that, opioid agonist, that is those agent which initiate or increases the action or activity of the opioids. So that is the difference between that. So agonist, antagonist, K analgesics. Example are nalorphine, pen, uh, pentazocine, then butorphanol, then partial weak mu antagonist, agonist, sorry, plus K antagonist. Example buprenorphine, then pure antagonist. The example, that is naloxone, naltrexone, then nalme, nalmefene. So this is the general classification, but the previous classification is important according to your syllabus. Then the pain pathophysiology. So this is a very important point of discussion, how the pain pathophysiology or how pain receptor acting, how the pain initiated. See, the pain is an ill defined unpleasant sensation evoked by an external or internal noxious stimulus. So pain, the production of pain, that behind the pain there are a number of reason. If any tissue is damaged due to the external or internal injury, then there is a busting of that tissue or cell, and due to that the pain sensation can be produces. So this is the general example of the initiation of the pain. And pain sensation is unpleasant, noxious, not tolerated by a general person. So in such condition, the opioid analgesic and narcotic analgesic drugs can be used for relieving from the pain. So analgesic relieve the pain without significantly altering the consciousness. So analgesic drug are beneficial in the relieving from the pain without altering the consciousness. So pain perception has a two component, nociceptive component and affective component. So that are the two component which produces or which contain the pain. So see how the pain perception initiated when In the given chart, the diagram showing that after injury to the particular tissue, what happen? The local release of active factors like Pg, Bk, and K, that are the different secretions: prostaglandin, bradykinin, and kinin. Okay, so after injury to the normal tissue, the sensitization get increases, or busting. If after busting of that tissue, the inflammatory mediators like prostaglandin, bradykinin, and kinin are released, and after that, the persistent activation, sensitization, sensitization of angiotensin and Christine is takes place. So angiotensin and Christine are the different pain receptors which are responsible for initiating the pain activity or pain perception. Then activity of ascending pathway and spinal fas- uh, felicitation is takes place. So pain receptor are generated by our nervous system, and after that the we are avoiding, or the pain sensation get incorporated. So exaggerated output for the given stimulus input and ongoing pain and hyperalgesia, that is hyperalgesia, or we can say that the pain sensation is more in such condition. So this is about this is the pathway of pain, or after injury to the normal tissue, the pain sensation get increases. The pain pathway and sites of action of the opioids. So site of action of the narcotic analgesic or opioids. So pain pathway is ascending and descending. Okay, two pain pathways having two sites, ascending and descending sites. So ascending pain pathway starts from the terminals of primary afferent neuron fiber, that is fast conducting and slow conducting. So sites of action on the afferent pain transmission pathway from the periphery to the higher. So see the ascending transmission in the given diagram. The spinal cord, after initiation of the afferent nociceptors, the spinal cord get stimulated, and the dorsal horn is given or sent towards the parabrachial nuclei, and after that the veneral caudal thalamus get stimulated, and the pain sensation gets transmitted towards the cortex. So by this way, the ascending, or we can say that upward pain transmission get transmitted. Then the effect of morphine. So morphine is having number of mechanism of action are useful in the different condition. So see the effect of morphine. Effect of morphine on the central nervous system. So very much important effect, that is analgesia. So analgesia, that is the pain consists of both sensory and affective, that is emotional component. Sensory, that is when any part is suffering from the pain, then the sensation, pain sensation, we can realize. Okay, and emotional component, so emotions are also emotions behind that pain, that is facial emotions or number of any other emotions we are showing to the other. Opioid analgesic reduce the both aspect of the pain experience, especially the effective aspect. So opioid analgesic having the capacity to reduce the stimulus behind the stimulus or reduces the activity of that particular receptors. In contrast, the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory analgesic drugs have no significant effect on the emotional aspect of the pain. So they are saying the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory analgesic agent, that is NSAID, are responsible for reducing the uh, inflammation, but opioid analgesic are the other agent. They are acting on the pain and reduces the pain sensation by acting on the pain receptors. Then the another effect, that is euphoria. So euphoria, in a simple word, euphoria is the feeling of well-beingness. Okay, stimulation, higher stimulation stage of the CNS, central nervous system. So intravenous drug users experience a pleasant floating sensation, that is feeling of well-beingness, with lessened anxiety and distress. However, the dysphoria, an unpleasant state characterized by the restlessness and malaise, may sometime occur. So euphoria, in that condition, they are saying the different conditions. That is the very much important. The patient is stimulated. Patient brain activity get stimulated or higher excitation state, that is called as euphoria. Then the sedation, another effect of morphine on the central nervous system, that is sedation. So what happen in the sedation? Drowsiness, clouding of the mentation, then little or no amnesia, then no motor incoordination. No motor incoordination, that is uh, motor sensation get increases, motor activity get increases or decreases. Then sleep is induced in elderly, can be easily aroused from this sleep. So elderly person or old age people can be sleep. So sedation, that is the decrease in the activity, mental activity or sleep, can be induces. Then effect on the respiratory system. So we are discussing previously the action of morphine on the central nervous system. Now what happened with the respiration? By inhibiting the brainstem respiratory mechanism, the alveolar carbon dioxide may increases, but the most reliable indicator of this depression is a depressed response to a carbon dioxide challenge. So the respiratory depression, in after introduction of the morphine, the oxygen consumption get reduces and carbon dioxide consumption get increases or reduces. So they are not 100% sure about that. In individual with increased intracranial pressure, asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, that is COPD, or corn pulmonary, this decrease in the respiratory function may not be tolerated. So after, if the oxygen consumption get decreases and carbon dioxide consumption get increases, now in that condition the different unpleasant activity or unpleasant diseases uh, can be produces, that is COPD or asthma and more that. So this is about the morphine effect on the respiratory system. So respiratory depression get produces after increase the dose of morphine. Then cough suppression. So codeine in particular. So as I am previously discussing or saying, the codeine is having property to cough suppression. So in cough syrup it can be used However, the cuff suppression by opioids may allow the accumulation of secretions and thus lead to airway obstruction and atelectasis. atelectasis. That is the another uh, effect on the respiratory system. So what happened after introduction of the codeine? The airway obstruction, that is the what happened in the increased secretion of the cough. Due to the increased secretion of the cough, the airway passage get enlarged or saturation of the cough. So codeine is having the property to reduces or reduces the secretion of that cough, that is cough suppression activity. So temperature regulating center depression. So chances of hypothermia, that is decrease in the body temperature. So after given codeine in suitable dosage form, it can produces the hypothermia or change in the body temperature or generally decrease in the body temperature. Such action can be produces. Then vasomotor center depression. So what happen after decreasing the or depression of the vasomotor center, the blood pressure get reduces. Then morphine stimulate the CTZ, that is chemoreceptor trigger zone. After stimulation of the chemoreceptor trigger zone, the nausea and vomiting like conditions can be produces. Then Edinger Westphal nucleus of the third nerve of the nerve is stimulated, that is meiosis. So in meiosis, the change in the eye pupil size. Okay. Then vagal center, that is bradycardia, that is related with the heart rate. So meiosis is nothing but the constriction of pupil size. That is decrease in the pupil size. After relaxation of pupil size, that state is called as mydriatics or mydriatic agent or mydriasis. So meiosis is a pharmacologic action to which the little or no tolerance develop. Now see the clinical uses of opioid analgesic. Clinical uses very much important in your annual examination. Clinical uses, that is the uses which uses on the human beings. Preclinical uses, that is the uses on the other animals, testing animal. So see the uses of opioid analgesic, very much important use, that is analgesia, that is the agent or which relieves in the pain. Then cough suppressant, used in the treatment of cough, also used in the treatment of diarrhea. Then also used in the acute pulmonary edema, that is swelling. Then balanced anesthesia. So in the pre-anesthetic medication, the codeine, also morphine can be used. So pre-anesthetic medication or balanced anesthesia are the same use. Then relief of anxiety and apprehension. That is relieving from this condition, fear. In such condition, the opioid analgesic drugs can be used. So these are the different uses, clinical uses of opioid analgesics. Then toxicity and undesired effect. So see the toxicity after increasing the dose of opioid analgesic drug, the behavioral restlessness is the condition if we are introducing any drug in larger extent. Also tremulousness, then hyperacidity, hyperactivity in the dysphoric reaction, depression, respiratory depression, that is carbon dioxide consumption get increases, then nausea, vomiting, increase the intracranial pressure also increases, then post ural hypotension, accentuated by the hypovolemia, that is the blood pressure get decreases, then constipation. So constipation is the condition related with our gastrointestinal tracts. So in constipation, the stomach infection can be persist. Then urinary retention, due to the large consumption of the morphine like drug, urinary retention can be reduces. Then itching around the nose, then urticaria, more frequent with the parenteral and spinal administration. So itching around the nose itching, and urticaria, that is more frequent with urticaria is more frequent with parenteral and spinal administration. So these are the different toxicity, or we can say that adverse effect of the opioid analgesic drug. Then acute morphine poisoning. So acute morphine poisoning is a very much important point according to your annual examination, also in the sessional examination, the 2-mark note, also 3-mark note can be asked as write a note on acute morphine poisoning. So in that condition, acute morphine poisoning and its treatment you have to write. So acute morphine poisoning is persists due to the consumption of morphine by suicidal intention, also the accidentally consuming by morphine. It can be the acute morphine poisoning can be produces. So in that condition, the more than 50 mg of morphine is given. The lethal dose, if if you are taken the 50 more than 50 mg morphine accidentally or by suicidal intention, then acute morphine poisoning can be persist. So lethal dose is 250 mg. Lethal, that is toxic dose. Stupor, coma, then shallow breathing, then cyanosis, then pinpoint pupil. Pinpoint pupil, that is the uh, pupil structure we are seeing as like a pin. Then fall in the blood pressure, also convulsion, that is the undesired process, convulsion or epilepsy. We are discussing. We have to discuss in after in our syllabus after some time. Then the death due to the respiratory failure. So these are the different symptoms if the morphine get incorporated accidentally or by suicidal intention. Then treatment in the acute morphine poisoning. So positive pressure respiration or artificial respiration is given to the patient. Then IV fluids are also introduced. IV fluids like dextrose injection, also sodium chloride injection. So normal fluid balance is maintained in the patient. Then gastric lavage with the potassium permanganate is given. So gastric lavage is the process by which the consumed poison get reduces by using the, the gastric lavage or gastric secretion get reduces. So potassium permanganate is the agent is beneficial in that condition. Then naloxone. So naloxone is the antagonist of morphine. So it can reduces the secretion and further spreading of the morphine. So this is the acute morphine poisoning. Effect of morphine poisoning and the treatment is given to the patient after consumption of morphine. Then morphine after introduction or after regular use of the morphine, tolerance and dependence can be produced. So with frequently repeated therapeutic dose of the morphine, there is a gradual loss of effectiveness. In what happen in the dependence and tolerance are the two different conditions. So tolerance and dependence can be produced if any person is repeatedly taken a therapeutic dose in certain amount. Then so tolerance, that is the state in which or by which the dose can be tolerated by person after repeated administration and no desired effect can be seen. And dependence, that is the condition dependence, that is the condition in which the person is depend physically on the drug. So that is the state of dependence. To reproduce the original response, a larger dose must be administered. So after producing or incorporating the dependence or tolerance, that particular patient or person is requiring the larger dose. Okay. Along with the tolerance, the physical dependence can be developed. So physically that person is depending on that drug like morphine. If that drug is not given to that person, then the withdrawal symptoms we have to see in that particular person. Then physical dependence. So physical dependence is a characteristic withdrawal or abstain sorry abstin abstinence syndrome, that is group of disease or disorder when a drug is stopped or an antagonist is administered. So physical dependence, so physically that person is depending on the particular drug and withdrawal symptoms we have to see if we are stopping the consumption or administration of the drug into that particular person. Withdrawal is manifested by a significant somatomotor and automatic outflow. So what happen in the withdrawal, that is in simple word, withdrawal, that is stopping the consumption of drug. So what happen in the withdrawal or withdrawal symptoms are different withdrawal symptoms of opioid analgesics are given. That is algesia, sorry, hyperalgesia, that is pain sensation get increases. Then hyperthermia, that is the another condition. Hyperthermia, that is body temperature can be increases than normal. Then hypertension, blood pressure get increases. Diarrhea and pupillary pupillary dilation. So what happen in that condition, the pupil side get increases. So this is about the opioid analgesic. Now some MCQ are given. So MCQ are important for your viva purpose. So see the question number 1, also the answer is given below that. Question number 1, which of the following action is ascribed to kappa type of the opioid receptors? So the option are given: euphoria, then proconvulsant, then dysphoria, and muscular rigidity. So kappa type receptor are action ascribed to dysphoria. That is the answer, right answer. In second question, in epidural analgesia, the morphine act by acting on. So the option are given, that is ventral horn, then substantia gelatinosa, then sensory nerve and axon. So well, the right answer is substantia gelatinosa. So epidural analgesia, morphine acts by acting on on this region. Then which of the following opioid is more potent than the morphine? So example are given: tramadol, fentanyl, pethidine and codeine. So the right answer is fentanyl. So fentanyl is a more potent opioid than the morphine. The next question, which is not a feature of opioid withdrawal? Option are given: constipation, then pillow erection, yawning and rhinorrhea. So the right answer is constipation. Then next question, the pentazocine act as a weak antagonist. Act as a The option are given: weak antagonist and partial agonist at opioid receptor, then antagonist at opioid receptors, then inverse agonist at opioid receptors and agonist at opioid receptors. So right answer is weak antagonist and partial agonist at the opioid receptor. Weak antagonist, that is having the property to reduce the secretion of opioids, and partial agonist, that is having a property to initiate the opioid receptor. Thank you. If any student is having any problem related with the topic, also I sending you the notes, short notes, so you have to refer that note, keep in your record. Thank you.